Dr. Frances Cress Welsing was a professor, psychiatrist, and author who was best known for her Black supremacy ideology. Dr. Frances Cress Welsing was born in Chicago, Illinois on March 18, 1935. Her father was a physician and her mother was a teacher. She would grow up as the middle of three daughters. In 1957, at Antioch College, she would earn a Bachelor of Science degree. She would then receive a medical degree in 1962 at Howard University. In the medical capacity, Dr. Frances Cress Welsing worked at many hospitals and particularly children's hospitals. Her focus was a career in child and general psychiatry. She would go on to open her own private practice in D.C. in 1967. While working as an assistant professor at Howard University, she would go on to self-publish her first body of work, The Cress Theory of Color Confrontation, in 1970. In her controversial essay, she would go on to argue that the impetus for white supremacy and superiority originates from the pervasive feeling of inadequacy and inferiority by whites themselves. She would further state that this inadequacy was due to white people's inability to produce melanin. As such, she thought that whites had deep-rooted prejudices and jealousy towards blacks that limited their ability to peacefully coexist. As a result of this controversial essay, Dr. Frances Cress Welsing lost her teaching post at Howard University. Subsequent to this, Dr. Frances Cress Welsing would continue to practice psychiatry and she would continue to write essays throughout the years. In 1992, Dr. Welsing would publish the ISIS Papers, The Keys to the Colors. This book will be a compilation of essays that she wrote over the previous 18 years. As could be expected, this book was just as controversial, if not more, as her essay, The Cress Theory of Color Confrontation. The title of her book, The ISIS Paper, was inspired and derived from the ancient Egyptian goddess Isis. The Egyptian goddess Isis had an admiration for truth and justice. Dr. Frances thought her book would also provide truth and justice for the black race. In her book, she discussed topics such as the global genocide of people of color, drug use, murder, teen pregnancy, infant mortality, incarceration, and unemployment. She would go on to discuss white people's inability to produce melanin once again. She would position black men at the forefront of her topics as she believed that black men have the greatest potential to cause white genetic annihilation. Also, she would describe white people as albino mutants. She would repetitively discuss white genetic survival, attributing AIDS, addiction, crack cocaine to the chemical and biological warfare inflicted on blacks by whites. In her book, she would go on to discuss black male emasculation, and she would attribute the growing popularity of homosexuality amongst African Americans as a ploy by white males to decrease the black population. She was an advocate for a strong African American family unit. She advised black men and black women to delay having children until their 30s. She recommended blacks to be well educated before having children to produce high-functioning, disciplined black kids. Dr. Frances Cress Welsing will go on to gain support and a following from black academics, the Nation of Islam, and many hip-hop artists. She would inspire Public Enemy's 1989 album, Fear of a Black Planet. Take a look at this clip that highlights a teaching by Dr. Frances Cress Welsing.
To replace the system of racism with a system of justice so there can be peace on the planet. Justice means no one is mistreated. That's right. No one is allowed to be mistreated. And those who need the most help get the most help.
On January 2nd, 2016, Dr. Frances Cress Welsing would die at the age of 80. Thanks for watching. To subscribe and support, please click the circular button. For additional content, please click one of the top 2 videos up top.